Alrighty, what is up, college baseball fans? Welcome to another episode of the 11.7 podcast, midweek recap, weekend number 7 preview. The structure of the show is pretty plain and simple today. Right now, we just have myself and Dimitri, and then I believe Noah and Jack could be joining us anytime. We just kind of had to start a little early because Dimitri's got a big softball game tonight. And we don't want him to miss that. He's got to keep living the glory days. So, in fact, Noah just joined right now. Let me go ahead and add him in. He's been busy with the college basketball season. There we go. Come on in, Noah. There we go. We just started, dude. Thanks for joining us. Ready to talk a little baseball, Noah? I know you've been watching the Orange Ball bounce around for a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be quite the change, but I think it's the change that I is more up to my speed. I would have preferred like a half more dozen upsets than we had in college basketball, but we had plenty of 4 seeds do some damage in last year's NCAA baseball tournament. That's much more the preference, and thanks for holding it down last week, fellas. I missed it. I definitely did. But I know myself, like I hate having one foot in one door and one foot in the other. And I know I'm not spending like 100% in one thing. And I know March Madness that probably deserves the 100% at that time. So happy to jump back in and talk ball, boys.
Hey, we're happy to have you back. We missed you for like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah. We actually did. No, I know we bust your balls a lot. We missed you a lot, dude. Like you're a staple.
I don't know about all that.
But yeah, I mean, we already discussed the college basketball tournament last week.
I know you guys did. I listened to the beginning of it, and then, no offense, I fell asleep.
Yeah, no, it's all good. We kind of crowned it March Mildness now. It's not March Madness anymore. It's mildness.
March Midness is something I've heard too.
But anyways, with the amount of momentum that college baseball has, I'm happy with that. I don't care about any other sports. Like I hope they all succeed, but. I mean, we're in the thick of things right now for a very entertaining college baseball season that had, 10, like I wouldn't call them upsets in the midweek, but statement wins from some teams that were getting a little disrespect. And Dimitri and I were talking pre-show, and it's not like the top teams are getting worse. The floor has just been raised in the game of college baseball, where a lot of these teams we're used to seeing in the middle to bottom of their conference standings in lesser conferences are so much better that they're able to win games in the midweek over, bigger talent. So that's always exciting to see. We'll cover all those games and then hit on some key notes that, that's happening around college baseball. And then we'll preview this conference slate and the weekend series pick them at the end. So pretty short and sweet episode today.
Bang, bang.
Yep. You guys want to start out with a game that I did not see. I turned the game off when it was 7-0 and wake up this morning to a Dimitri video clip tweet of, if you want to relive the Houston Cougars comeback win over the Texas Longhorns last night, here you go. So like completely caught me off guard. I thought it was a fever dream. And sure enough, the Houston Cougars at home pulled off a huge comeback win against the Texas Longhorns in that shaky bullpen. So Dimitri, you want to talk to us about that game?
Yeah. Hey, I was right there with you. I was covering all the games last night, and I did one final run through of the scores, and I was like, yeah, I'm tired. I need to eat dinner, and I want to take a shower. I'm getting off. I get off. I'm like doing stuff, and I'm like, ESPN tweeted Texas lost. I'm like, so I go back. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, dude, no way. And so I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll just go ahead and do a whole entire comeback video for all the early birds in the morning. And sure enough, a lot of people love seeing it. I mean, everyone loves when Texas loses. So that's just a free engagement, whatever you want to call it, thing. I hate it that ESPN.
Do you know why? Do you know why people root against teams like Texas and LSU? This was a big debate on my Twitter timeline this past week between Kendall Rogers and Jake McKeever and a few other people, but there was some disagreements on like who is the biggest brand in college baseball.
Hmm.
And in my opinion, the biggest
LSU.
brand has always been, will always be LSU, followed by Texas, 1-2, 1A, 1B, and the rest are underneath. But like it is no offense to Arkansas fans or Mississippi State fans. Like Mississippi State's on the verge of getting in that territory, but like attendance numbers alone doesn't speak for the brand. So I wanted to run that past you guys. My head's different and my brain is different than yours, both of yours. But that Texas brand and that LSU brand, in my opinion, they stand out from the rest.
Well, think about it this way. You're from Texas. You grew up in that area with those kind of
Yeah.
people. I grew up in Georgia, completely different area. Noah's from Michigan, so we're probably going to have different things. But I agree, LSU is by far and away the number one brand in college baseball. It's LSU. And then you've got Texas. And I might be a little biased, but 10 years ago, you probably could. Miami was up there. Miami U brand is pretty big. So that's what I would say. I would say LSU and Texas for sure.
Yeah, I like this topic because it came up in the 11.7 group chat today with the North Carolina basketball job opening. So it's very similar. To me, I guess, yeah, you guys labeled me, and it's so true. Like, I grew up in the North, wasn't very locked in on baseball until really Omaha time. And for me, like the big brand has been Texas, just because they're always there. LSU, I feel like their strongest, best was in that 90s run where they had Skip and he was leading them to Omaha left and right, and they were winning national titles in bunches. Whereas I guess I viewed Texas as like the sustained blue blood, even though they didn't have the most national titles. It was just constantly were in Omaha every June.
Yeah. The way I always look at it, and both of you guys brought up great points, but going back to our college basketball thing now that, Kansas's job is open, North Carolina's job's open. I look at both of them clearly as blue bloods, but it's like which programs could steal a head coach at another big program, if that makes sense. Like, in my opinion, there are two jobs that if they come open, it doesn't matter if you're at Arkansas, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, like you would leave most likely your job to go be at Texas or LSU. And then there's a few that are like just underneath that.
Yeah.
But
And I just want to make
Brian
sure.
O'Connor in Mississippi State. He lost.
Yeah.
He left an Omaha contender, national baseball powerhouse, to go to a slightly even bigger one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and you know what? Since we are a little bit older than Noah, South Carolina baseball was a national baseball brand for about a 5 to 6 year window. And if they would have sustained that success a little longer, I think they'd be in this conversation too.
I mean,
Right.
they had the 2 straight natties, the 3 straight championship finals series, like they were there for sure, no doubt.
And
I just want to say we're not breaking any news yet. Kansas's basketball head coaching job is not yet open, but it will be soon. I don't know about this year, but Self is nearing the end.
you know what's another thing that, hey, all the credit to Texas. I bet you if you ask the average fan when Texas last baseball national championship was, and if you said, is it in the last 5 years? Is it in the last 10 years? Is it in the last 15 or in the last 20? Nobody would answer in the last 21 years. They have 0 national championship.
Yeah.
2005 is the last national championship for the Texas Longhorns. And I bet you so many people would have no idea.
Yankees.
You would think it's much more recent.
Very similar to the Yankees.
Right. That's a good comparison, Noah. Anyways, we're getting sidetracked here. I just wanted to emphasize
on the game. I pulled up the Texas-Houston box score, by the way, boys. First off, Houston had 10 hits, so there was multiple guys with damage, but I wanted to highlight Easton Winfield. Had a little of a revenge game.
Yeah.
The former outfielder for Texas went 3 for 4, 3 runs scored, and an RBI. So good day from him there.
I'm a big fan. You know what? Speaking of Houston and Texas, I'm a big fan of Trey Broussard. The guy is dynamic. He is a dynamic player, and I think he's fun to watch.
Yeah.
What are his season stats like? Because I do agree with that, Dimitri. I just haven't kept up with him as much as I probably should have. He was one of those guys that I thought was a fringe, day one draft guy coming into the year, and like just completely off my radar right now, to be honest. Like I haven't followed him much at all this year.
I think he's hitting like 420 with maybe 2 homers or something, 1 or 2 home runs. But he's
Jeez.
getting on base a lot. He's hitting 420
I'll raise
and
you
we're
50
2, 3
points on
weeks.
that batting average. 451.
451. How many stolen bases does he have?
Let's see here. We've got only 3. He had 31 last year, so
What about extra base hits? I remember he only has like 1 or 2 homers, right?
yeah, he's got 3 homers. He's got 9 total extra base hits.
Probably
He's
not.
heating up. 450 for 2-3 weeks of Big 12 play is pretty good.
100%.
Hey,
Yeah, I mean,
actually, it looks like he's missed some time. He's only played 15 games this year.
He was
Okay.
hurt a little bit.
Okay.
probably
Makes
explains
some
why he's
sense.
not running as much either. Okay.
Correct. He did steal bag against the Horns, though.
And
Well,
that
I mean,
changed the game last night.
He's one of those guys that like he could, even though he missed time, it was pre-conference play. Like he could still win conference player of the year. Like if he finishes hitting 450 in conference with some extra base hits, stolen bases, like that's going to win you Big 12 player of the year.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
And as we're
except you
looking
know what? Forgot about our guy Quinton Coats from
Oh, yeah.
Cincinnati.
at- yeah.
19 homers in
And Dean,
35
hey
games.
Noah, do you know how to pronounce that guy from Arizona State, Dean Toigo?
Yeah, Dean Toigo, yeah.
Toigo. He's got 10 home runs already too, and he's doing really well for Arizona State. So,
But 10 homers is nowhere close to 19.
no, of course not. Of course not.
So I'm looking this up right now. So Trey Broussard, obviously, they've played like 24 games, so he's missed 9 games, and there's been 2 like kind of spurts or losing streaks here for Houston. I want to see when he left the lineup, when he's been reinserted, and how they're doing since. Give me like 2 seconds.
Houston
Go ahead.
is 1-5 in the Big 12, which is going to be really tough for them to dig out of, and they've got a tough schedule ahead of them.
Big 12 is weird to me, dude. Like I still can't figure it out.
What can you not figure out? Like, is the bottom is bad, the top is good, or they're all kind of close?
Yeah, like part of me thinks that everybody's going to finish with like from first place to 12th place is going to be like 5 games total of separation. But then you also have teams like UCF, West Virginia, Arizona State who could just pull away and win it by 10 games or 15 games from the bottom.
Do you remember? Was it 2 years ago? West Virginia was a slam dunk to win the Big 12. Went down to Austin, got swept,
Yes.
and completely lost the Big 12 title. And I think they were co-champions. But the Big 12 has always notoriously been really close at the top.
Yeah. You're doing
Yeah, I
math
mean,
on there, Noah?
I am doing math. Could you see my lips or
Noah,
something?
I mean, Houston. Ben, what do you think? Houston's already played Kansas State and Kansas. They're 1-5. They've got Baylor and Texas Tech next. Then they've got BYU. You've got to win 2 of those series at least, and not get swept.
Yeah,
Then
you got to
got
win
West
6
Virginia.
games there. Yeah, I think if
What?
you can go through that 9-game stretch 6-3, you're back in it.
You're back. It's your 7-6-3 or 7-8. Then
Yep.
they've got West Virginia, TCU, Cincinnati, Arizona State.
Poof. That ain't easy.
That's not easy.
And it's not easy because like every team is looking at Houston like we have to win this series too. Like it's not an optional like hey we got to get one from them. Like they're looking at Houston series like we got to win it.
Yeah.
So
And that's only based off of like prior season results for Houston. Like, hey, this is one of the series where we have to have boys. Let's go.
Yep.
Kind of heightened focus here. He missed 2 weekends. He missed a total of 9 games. Trey Broussard, we're talking about here. He missed the final game of the UTRGV series where they lost, and then he missed the Frisco weekend where they went 1-2, and then they played Arkansas Pine Bluff without him, and they were able to sweep it. But
Yeah.
these first 2 Big 12 series he has played, but maybe he's not 100%. So
okay. Well, other than the Houston magical win over Texas, I thought the Coastal Carolina Clemson game was the one that I was locked into the most. And if you didn't watch it, there was a moment in this game that, in my opinion, probably swung the win probability from, we'll call it like 5% to 100%. And it was a pop up to the first baseman that the first base umpire got in the way of. And if you know anything about baseball, if you've ever followed baseball, which I'm sure most of our audience has and does, those are the type of moments that instantly swing momentum, and you know nothing is going to go right for your team the rest of the way. And that's exactly what happened to Clemson. Coastal Carolina, 7-run comeback win in Doug Kingsmore at Clemson. And I don't want to point fingers, but I think it was like if they catch that ball, they don't win that game. No way Coastal Carolina wins that game.
I went to go pull up the box score, and it looks like Clemson has wiped it from their website.
What do you mean wiped it?
I can't pull it up. I get a big error code.
Dude.
Dude.
First of all, first baseman, he
doesn't exist on their website.
Interesting. But okay, no, you distract me there. I was like looking at
sorry.
it. So
I'm so
anyway,
sorry. I was hoping to do both at the same time.
First baseman was on a merry-go-round, freaking circus wheel.
I've been in that position several times.
It is a very difficult ball to catch.
You were waiting for your second baseman to call you off. You're like, please just say ball, ball, ball. Like, I want nothing to do with this.
In high school, I was a position player. I played third base. My high school coach told our shortstop, any ball over his head, he's blind. He can't see it. Like, I forget what exactly, but he's like, you're calling him off every single time because I looked like Jack Crichton on that play. I hold nothing against him there.
When you're directly under the ball, it is impossible to see it. The only thing you can fall back on is that any right-handed batter hitting a ball down the right field line is going to come back into play. It's going to spin back into play every time. So the umpire was in his way, but I think he was going to miss it regardless.
Yeah, look, I can sympathize with that because anybody that's played this game, those balls straight up to you, your depth perception is gone. You have no idea where to go. And then all of a sudden your feet start moving, they're chopping, your eyeballs are moving. Like you feel like you're on an island and there's just nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've never played in front of a couple thousand people that expect you to catch it too.
Right.
Like, that's another thing.
Hey, what are your thoughts on this? South Carolina fans loved that Clemson Coastal game last night. They said, man, our future head coach pulling a 6-run comeback to beat our rival. Can't wait to have him in our dugout. What are your thoughts on that?
It's good. I mean, it's Coach Schnall's job until he says no. Like he's the clear-cut, slam dunk favorite to be the next head coach at South Carolina. The problem or like the roadblocks is like he is a Chanticleer for life. He's always been a Chanticleer. He's got pride in his school. His school will bend over backwards for him. And he knows he can build a championship-worthy club. Like, plain and simple. There's no pressure. It's his, like, he'll be at Coastal for the rest of his life, just like Gary Gilmore was. And if he wants to take that risk, like, he will do it. But if not, like, they're gonna have to find somebody else.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to come down to money, or unless
it's going to be the only thing it comes down to.
Well,
if the money is significant enough, if the money is significant enough, that's the only way he's leaving.
Right.
So next game,
we will not have an answer until probably June or July. So we're going to put all that on pause. But yeah, Coastal 6-0 in the Sun Belt. They got a big weekend series coming up. Their fans are excited, and they're excited because they're seeing guys that had no expectations to play much this year perform with all the injuries that they've had. And when they get that crop of guys back, like Cam Flukie threw last night in a bullpen just pregame, when they get that crop of guys back that are injured in late April, they're going to make another run. Like, they're that good.
Hey, you just reminded me. Cam Flukie did an in-game interview last night, and they were talking about his little rib injury, how rare it is, how uncommon, blah 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 blah. And then he asked him like, "What are your thoughts on the freshmen and young pitchers getting a lot of meaningful innings?" And we brought this up a couple of weeks ago that
Yeah.
Coastal's going to be better for these injuries, like in the disguised way that they're going to be ready for when May comes around. So, and he talked about it. And he goes, "Oh, dude, we're so happy. Like we're so excited. These guys are eating a meaningful inning. And when we all have the whole gang back together, it's going to be a lot of fun." And I'm like, dude,
Yep.
100 retweet,
That's
100%.
the exact mentality you have to have during that too.
Right.
Yeah, I had restream or connection issues on my end. But yeah, that was quite the bomb on Sunday with the Maneri and South Carolina news. I wasn't surprised by it by any means. Maybe it was a little early, and I did listen to like parts of your pod in and out on the airport in between sleep or on the airplane in between sleep. And I thought Ben was right in saying like that is I think the biggest sign of the sport's growth
Yeah.
is the mid-season cannings of coaches and whatnot. But like we kind of knew that was going to come. Paul like just totally zoning out in season or in game
You're
or
not allowed to
whatever.
say Papa. You are not allowed to say
Oh,
Papa.
come
Unless
on.
you
It's
want
That's
to
an
my
go
one
after.
instant
trigger
laugh.
word, dude.
It's an instant laugh.
That's my
That's why
trigger
we
word.
have to.
Oh,
But like him just instantly zoning out in game on camera, him falling, going back to the dugout a couple of times. Like it's like this was kind of coming, guys. So I was not too surprised.
let me add to that, Noah. Not only did we not get in-season firings, I might have said this on Sunday's pod, but I'm going to reiterate it. We used to not fire college baseball coaches. We used to wait until their contract ran out and then just not renew them. Up until probably COVID, there was never any firings. Like they would just eat up until the end of their contract, and then they would go explore.
I actually have the answer for you, Ben, and why this is a new heightened I don't know. I don't even know what you want to call it, but we talk about this a ton on the college experience, and Colby hammers this point home a lot. Is like right now with the whole conference realignment and everything shifting every single year, it seems like you cannot be left behind. And that's the way that a lot of these schools, I think, are now viewing that is if you don't have the best football program, you better be dang sure that your basketball or baseball is up to snuff. And I think you're seeing everybody trying to have their best foot forward in almost every revenue sport right now, and I like to see it personally. Um, on the Coastal Clemson game, just hat tip to Darren Horn, just absolutely slamming the door shut at the end of that game. So
Hey, that's a really good point you brought up with the conference realignment thing. I didn't even think about that. That's really interesting. And the other thing is, I wanted to add this. The reason why I think we're seeing firings in midseason and stuff now instead of waiting out contract after season is because of this. NIL, you can buy a roster, you can rebuild and retool a roster overnight. When you fire a coach, it doesn't mean, oh my God, we have to restart a whole recruiting cycle. We got to wait 2-3 years for this coach to implement his strategy, his program, whatever. No, you can build a roster overnight. And so when you fire a coach, it doesn't mean, oh, this is a 3-year reset. We got to let the coach have 3 years to rebuild this thing. It's like, hey, man, we're going to throw the money behind you. Get this thing back on track as quick as you can. And
yeah,
Paul Manieri, I don't want to talk about him anymore, but he said, oh, in his press conference, this is a good roster. There's a lot of good pieces. We're gonna keep going with this thing. This is the regional team, whatever. And then when he got fired, he said, you guys were impatient and give me enough time. And that was when I realized coaches will use this I didn't have enough time excuse, but they know in reality they can build a roster overnight.
yeah. I wasn't on the show on Sunday night, but I do agree with you guys. Schnall, I think, is your hands down favorite to land this job. If he wants it, it's his. And then I agree with Ben saying like that's a tough hurdle to climb because he's a Chanticleer for life. We saw this on the on the basketball side with Ed Cooley in Providence, right? He leads Providence to their first ever Big East regular season title, or if it wasn't first ever, it was like first in 40 years. And then he jumps to Georgetown, which has historically been the much better brand. And he's hated in his hometown forever now. Is that how you kind of want to be remembered if you're Schnall jumping to Columbia from Myrtle? I don't know, or from Conway. I don't know if that's necessarily his desire. So
Yeah. But anyways, we got some more midweek action to talk about here. I do want to talk about Oregon State thumping USC. It was USC's first taste of like, oh shoot, maybe our non-conference schedule wasn't that great because Oregon State jumped on them early, often, and just the game was over in the third inning. So, what do you guys think? Do you think USC finally just had like one little slip-up game, or was the like non-conference competition not the greatest?
I think it's kind of hypocritical and funny that everyone is putting so much weight on this Tuesday game for USC, but when their team loses the Tuesday game, it's just a midweek.
Right.
So I think it's kind of
Dude, that's a
hypocritical.
great way to put it. Thank you.
I think it's kind of hypocritical in that sense. They're slamming USC because they lost to Tuesday midweek, but when other teams do it, it's just a midweek. I don't think there's much to it. I think USC walked a couple guys. They gave up a couple big hits, and game was over. And I don't really think there's much to think of it. We'll find out how USC does against a better Maryland team than some of the other teams. But hey, remember, Cal Poly reeled off 11 straight wins after getting swept 4 games by USC. So, and Cal Poly's a good team. So, I think people need to take it easy on USC a little bit. I know the Pac-12 lovers will gang up on them as much as they can, calling them traitors or whatever. But USC is a good team. Like
nobody was happier to see Oregon State dominate USC more than me. Okay, because if Oregon State loses that midweek, the Mercer Bears would be in 10 times more trouble this weekend in Corvallis. They would be. Now, I mean, at least Oregon State is feeling good about themselves. They probably haven't even looked at Mercer's roster. Meanwhile, Mercer is spending the night in the Atlanta airport tonight to fly out tomorrow at like 7 a.m. Because of the TSA lines everywhere. So, like, Mercer's going to have to grit out some wins, but they're starting it off with their travel schedule, sleeping in the Atlanta airport tonight so they don't miss their flight tomorrow.
No way. So they got a hotel room tonight in Atlanta?
I think you misheard me, Dimitri.
No,
they're staying the night in the hotel.
No,
or in the airport. Sorry,
they're sleeping in the airport so that they're
not sleep. They're just driving up the bus at what? They're leaving at 2 a.m. from Macon and getting to the airport.
There is no hotel involved, Dimitri.
Okay, so that means they're not sleeping in the airport. They're just leaving Macon at 2 a.m., getting there at 3:30, and going.
From what I've heard, they're sleeping in the airport.
Dude, it's the
Atlanta
airport.
They're there right now.
The Atlanta airport has been one of the most ridiculed airports right now due to the TSA and everything that's going on.
Yeah, I haven't been. I saw a video, but I think Ben is exaggerating here. They are not literally sleeping in the airport from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m.
I kind of believe him. Like, I was seeing they're just going to
leave Macon at midnight. They're going to leave Macon at midnight. They're going to get there at 2 a.m. and they're going to get in the TSA line at 3 a.m. to make their flight.
I will send a text to confirm, but
confirm it by the end of the episode.
Okay, deal.
I do not believe it that they're going to tuck themselves into bed at 10 p.m. and wake up at 4 a.m. in the Atlanta airport. I don't believe it.
We'll see.
What other game?
Rice has a top 70 RPI. Cal Poly, they played 4 games against, top 50 RPI. That was all 4 on the road, by the way, too. Like, they've played San Diego in a midweek. They've played Long Beach in a midweek. They've played a fine schedule for a West Coast team. What do you want them to do? Fly cross country for a Tuesday, Wednesday set and then get back home?
Yeah, like USC's strength isn't even midweeks. It's their weekend rotation. Good luck beating that team twice in the postseason with Mason Edwards and Gavall. What's his first name? Diego Gavall? What's his first name?
Grant Govell.
Grant Govell. I mean, shoot, they've given up 1 earned run each this year in like
And the one
33
other
innings.
loss they took, which was on the weekend, was in 25 degrees and blizzard temperatures in Charlotte.
Doubleheader too. Doubleheader in the blizzard. So yeah,
Ridiculous.
I will make it clear I'm not worried about USC. Dimitri actually brought up an amazing point of when another team loses a midweek, their fan base goes, it's just a midweek. Midweeks don't matter. But then the moment USC loses a midweek to a really good Oregon State team, they're like, oh, frauds. They lost. So funny. So funny how that
I
works.
was like, what are we doing?
And
I
then
saw that video that Dimitri posted about Pike too. That blows.
yeah, not good. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but it looks
So
like
apparently he just came out due to tightness. That
Okay.
was the early rumor, or whatever. It was just tightness. But I'm like, dude, this guy only recorded 2 outs, 20 innings this year, and he's coming out of a game due to tightness. Like something else is going on.
Yeah. I will give credit to Florida State fans. This was my next bullet point or topic to talk about. They called it. Sunday after in Sully's viral video of him looking miserable, Florida State fans all called it on social media. They said, well, shit, we're getting worked on Tuesday. Like, there's nothing, like, Florida's going to look like the 99 Yankees against us Tuesday night. And yeah, Florida took care of business and beat Florida State. Like everybody, 16 punch outs. Yeah, they looked really good.
And that's another thing. So Florida State fans or everyone else in college baseball was like, why don't they throw these guys on the weekend? And everyone, all the Florida fans were like, what the hell are you talking about? They did throw on the weekend. They threw like shit on the weekend. The same guy. They walked the house on Sunday, Saturday, whatever it was, and shoved on Tuesday. So it's like, and Sully said it best. First road trip of the year in the SEC, it's going to be difficult. Like things snowball quickly when you're on the road. A lot of guys getting their feet wet. But it doesn't get easier for those guys. They head to Fayetteville this weekend.
Yeah, no, I talk about this all the time on the college experience show. Like I throw together crazy parlays on the first 2 weekends of the SEC schedule because none of these SEC teams challenge themselves on the road and non-conference. Everybody want to talk about non-conference schedules and whatnot.
Florida
like, these
did play
guys
Miami on the road, though.
Yeah, that's true. These guys are dipping their toe for the most part. Everybody else, I remember first weekend or whatever it was. I don't know. I'm not going to throw any under the bus, but it's like, yeah, they don't challenge themselves in the non-con on the road. Their first taste, their first dip of the toe in the water in a hostile setting is one of the worst environments that these freshmen have ever seen. There's 6,000 plus that are all jeering them on. So yeah, I just think it's a no-brainer, and I wish like teams more like Florida had these road rivalry series at times. Clemson plays one game at South Carolina plays one game at Clemson and whatnot, and Georgia Tech used to have that series. I like that as like a nice warm-up for conference play.
What if we got rid of the tournament? I like the tournament. They create a regional style environment, but put them back on campus. If we're going to do tournament, put them back on campuses again, or do a Big 12 SEC, ACC, Big 10 series, whatever, weekend. Get these teams playing other big Power 4 schools on the road or at home, whatever. Because, I don't want to see Globe Life Ballpark at 20% capacity between two big teams when they have rabid fan bases right back at home. Send Florida on the road to go play Texas Tech. Send Florida on the road to go play Kansas State. Like, I want to see these teams on the road in on-campus stadiums. Get rid of the tournaments and the big league ballparks.
I can give you the reason why that's not necessarily like what. Yes, you're playing in front of your home fans. That's awesome. But also for RPI reasons, sometimes hosting the quad 2 rather than getting 3 quad 1 neutral games is less desirable in the non-conference.
Well, if you're sending an SEC team on the road to the Big 12, I'm pretty sure those are going to be quad 1 games. So I just think it's better for the sport. Like early weekend, I don't want to see them playing. I'm not going to say a name because I get it. It's going to be offensive to this team, but send some big boys bring some big boys home, or go on the road and play some big games. because that'll get you ready for a regional when you have 5,000 people that are not cheering for you.
Yeah, makes sense. Wow, I just lost my train of thought. I know what I was going to say. Mississippi State, like, absolutely jumped on Southern Miss. And, yeah, I mean, I don't want to throw my little brother under the bus, but he called it. He's Southern Miss alum, worked for the baseball program for a couple years. He texted me and he's like, this is the, like, he's usually good at like the Southern Miss feel. He's like, this is the game we get run ruled. Like, it's coming. And he was spot on. I think this game meant more for Mississippi State to even up the season series there. Also, Southern Miss has kind of been in dogfights in the weekend in the Sun Belt, and I think if I had to assume something, they probably were like, "Hey, we got to take a step back in some of these midweeks to get ready for the weekends." Because was it 2 weeks ago they had a big midweek win over Mississippi State? Maybe it was somebody else, but I think it was Mississippi State. And then they go to Arkansas State and lose the weekend.
Yeah.
I think there was some internal dialogue going on, like, hey, we can't be going all out on these we already have done enough in the non-conference, and like we've built a good non-conference resume. Like, let's focus on conference play moving forward.
Yes, I think you're on the right scent there. Like with Southern Miss, it's now to the point where you had such a good non-con, you put the target on your back in conference play. You're the team that everybody wants to circle and be ready for when they come to when you go play at their ballpark. You're getting everybody's best punch right now. And yeah, I think you very much are understanding kind of an SEC team on the road against the mid-major little brother in state type of mentality right now. Just stay alive, don't get anybody hurt, and get to the weekend.
Let's not excuse Southern Miss here and take anything away from Mississippi State. They bow raced them early and often.
Yeah,
that wasn't a fifth inning, sixth inning. We're going to try to throw this guy out. Game gets out of hand. It was out of hand from the first pitch in the first inning.
Very fair. And 2 weeks ago, these were all the freshmen no names that we were praising for going out there and throwing a scoreless frame against Mississippi State. So for the Bulldogs to come back and do that, it's definitely impressive.
And guys, Mississippi State's really good. I know I'm not saying anything nobody knows, but this is not an Omaha team. This is a championship caliber team. Yeah. They rake 1 through 9.
Yeah, that was a team that I was pretty wrong on in the preseason. I'm willing to come out and say that. Like, every time they've really needed a clutch hit, they've got it. On the mound, I'm still a little concerned with the McPherson stuff and everything that kind of would have to jump up a spot if he misses some time. But yeah, they've got everything it takes right now, man.
They've got a lefty that throws 100. That is literally a project in the midweek.
Right. Doesn't. He just throws on Tuesdays for an inning.
Like, and hey, tip the cap to him. He went 1 or 2 innings, really clean, filled up the strike zone for the most part. So that's good development. Hey, that's going to be your game 4 starter in a regional on Sunday in June.
Good luck.
I don't know.
Could you imagine being like a 3 seed that's having a miracle run to the regional finals, and then you get 100 from the left side?
Unbelievable. Is he your game 4, or is he the number 2 lefty out of the pen when you need a leverage arm?
I think it just depends on. I think it depends on his development and like how much. And it's Jack Reacher's his name, right?
Jack Bauer.
Jack Bauer, not Jack.
I mean, both of them are very cartoonish, like movie
but
names.
Jack Bauer. That's right.
Hilarious.
Jack Reacher is kind of a sick name to have.
Well, it's from a movie or a show, right?
I don't know anything about pop culture.
It's a Tom Cruise movie. And then the Jack Bauer one is a whatever movie. I'm not a movie guy either. But what I was going to say is, what do you guys prefer from the 100-mile-an-hour lefty? Would you rather him go 4 innings in a game 4, or your 4th game of a regional, or would you rather see him for an inning in a leverage spot from the left-hand side?
I'm always anti-freshman out of the bullpen in regionals.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big fan of like if you have a freshman that's an in between kind of guy, put him on the mound to start the game. It
Okay.
gives you
If
9
shit,
innings.
if
I
all
mean,
hell breaks loose, you still have 8 innings, whatever, ahead of
right.
you.
But
Because
there's
if he
different
shit,
types of freshmen though. I don't know anything about this kid's like personality or like what his mentality is. Like he could be, hey, I want to be in relief. Like I want to be a shutdown guy in relief. I don't want to start. But anybody that starts throughout the year and maybe he's a midweek guy or a Sunday starter and he's a freshman, like keep him in the same routine of like, hey, 45 minutes before the game, like you're going to start stretching, tossing, getting that routine. You don't want to speed things up for any freshman out of the bullpen if he's been starting or has some starts under
he
his
hasn't
belt
been
during the
starting.
year.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland is the actor that plays Jack Bauer in 24.
Nice. All right, let's move on. Let's do a couple games that like I didn't watch a single pitch of, but I want to give these teams a shout out. Memphis takes down Ole Miss at Memphis. I think it was their first ranked win at home in 20 years, somewhere around there. I saw a tweet floating around.
Yeah. I think Dimitri clipped it and they said it in the clip.
That might be where it is. But yeah, Memphis, it sucks for Memphis because I feel like they're completely overshadowed by like most of the American conference. Um, I don't know if I'd call them the worst team in the American, but it's still a project team that here in a few years they could be really competitive. But
They're the worst team in the American by a lot.
that's what I'm saying. But like they would be middle tier in Conference USA. Like
I
they're
don't know.
not a bad team.
They got their doors blown off by Missouri State and their doors blown off by Jacksonville State this year on the weekend.
But they're both in first place of their conference.
Middle
The
Tennessee
American
has
just
one arm.
doesn't have
Dude, I
like
think
bottom
Memphis is
feeder
pretty bad.
bad teams.
I think Memphis is pretty bad.
I'm gonna have to pull up their schedule now.
I'm just looking at their schedule. They won 2 out of 3 versus Toledo. A 1-run game and a 2-run game they won, and they lost one. Little Rock, they lost. Ohio State, they got blown out. Louisiana Tech, they got beat. Ohio State, they got blown out. Little Rock, they blew out. Then they got doors blown off by Jacksonville State and Missouri State.
But Jacksonville
Lost 2
State and
out of
Missouri
3.
State are both like
What
their
about
best
Eastern
teams in the
Illinois?
conference.
What about Eastern Illinois?
That's the
They got
best
their
team in the
doors.
OVC right now.
They got blown out by them, and then they lost 2 out of 3 to Tulane. So, I mean, I get what you're saying. You're trying to defend the Memphis Tigers, but they're not good.
They've played a tough schedule. Tulane, Eastern Illinois, Missouri State, Jacksonville State, Little Rock, Louisiana Tech. Like they're all going to win their conferences.
I mean, maybe, but when Rice and FAU have the second lowest win total at 14, and then there's Memphis at 7, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
They're hitting.
Either way, good win for Memphis.
Their team ERA 8.45, good for 277th in the country. Their home run given up per 9 is 1.83 home run per game. You know what that's good for? 302nd in the country. It's pretty bad.
All right. Well, they won a baseball game
You're
on
down.
Tuesday.
Stay down.
Hey, I'm sorry. If we have any Memphis fans listening, I'm sorry, but the numbers don't lie. Like
Strength of schedule right now. Strength of schedule right now for Memphis is 43. Non-con strength of schedule is 33. Like maybe they've got a second win to them in the second half.
Right. If Memphis would have scheduled Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and I don't know, like Bellarmine.
They did schedule them. It got rained out.
Oh, see.
That's hilarious. You said that team. That's hilarious. Of all the teams you said Pine Bluff. That game got postponed.
I was just trying to think of a team like that's close to Memphis. But anyways,
move on.
Move on. Duke walks off East Carolina, walk-off 3-run homer. Didn't watch a single pitch of that game. There was other stuff going on, but good for Duke. Kennesaw State upsets Georgia. That's Georgia's 4th. Is that their 4th midweek loss? 3, and then
Third.
they have
They're
a
1 and
weekend
3 on.
series loss to Wright State, don't they?
They lost on Sunday
Yes.
to Wright, yeah. But they're 1 and 3 in home midweek this year.
That's not good. Like that's not going to get you to a super regional.
I mean,
I mean, we said that about 2024 Florida, and they got to the World Series. Like they were losing all those midweeks, only winning Sundays with Cags.
That's a
And then
good
I got
point.
hot.
Yeah, that's a good
Well,
point.
if you look at Georgia's schedule, opening weekend they lost 6-3 to Wright on Sunday. Versus Samford on Sunday, they won 22-0 in 7 innings. And then on Sunday versus Oakland, which was their 4th game of the weekend, they won 4-3. And then the 4th game on Sunday against Queens, they won 14-3. Beat Tennessee on Sunday, 8-7. Lost to A&M 18-5 on Sunday. So I think it's a little early to call Georgia out on having depth late in the weekend. That's a little early, but midweeks do show your depth.
These midweeks are possibly going to hurt Georgia's case for a host.
Oh, no doubt.
I think their SEC schedule is strong enough where it'll trump that real quick. I mean, South Carolina at home, Mississippi State on the road, Florida, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Missouri, LSU, Auburn. If they do well in those games, I don't think it matters what they did in the midweek. Florida showed that.
I don't know. It could. Campbell takes down NC State. Another good win for Campbell.
Two ACC wins and a coastal in there in the last 7 games.
I had them as the preseason dark horse pick in our conference picks and to win the CAA. I feel kind of shitty for jumping off Campbell. Like they've been live in some spots.
If you go back and look at Campbell's non-conference schedule, they have their series losses kind of
Cal Poly and Troy.
Cal Poly, Troy, and then they have a series loss to somebody else too.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Was it Wright State?
They went opening weekend they went opening weekend Campbell. Or sorry. Opening weekend they lost series to Cal Poly. Then they lost series to Troy 2 out of 3. Then they lost series 2 out of 3 to Wright State.
Yeah. Campbell currently 8-1 in the CAA.
40 non-conference strength of schedule.
With a handful of ACC wins and a win over East Carolina in the midweek as well.
Next 3 weeks are big. Charleston, William & Mary, UNCW.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's a run.
Campbell feels like one of those teams that could go on like a Murray State type of run. Because remember, Murray State last year, I think they won every midweek. There was some weird stat about Murray State last year. Not weird stat, but crazy stat about Murray State where like they were really good in the midweeks. And I think Campbell is really good in the midweeks. So we'll see.
They've given up 8 combined runs in those 3 games against Duke, Coastal, and NC State.
Yeah,
pretty
Campbell
good.
Got 1 midweek loss at Coastal.
My Camel eyeballs are on. Like I am watching Campbell the Camels from now on. We have the Flow Sports subscription, so might as well use it.
Are your Camel headphones on? Like, because play the damn song, right?
I know. I love that tweet every time they get a big win.
Demetrius brought it back, and it's so good.
They deserve it, man. When that tweet comes out, that means the Camels are playing well. Yep. Like we haven't brought that thing out in probably 2 years.
Yeah.
So, I know they love it. We love it.
Yeah, last midweek game we're going to recap before we hop to the weekend. Missouri State pummels Oklahoma State. Just pummels them. Missouri State up to number 5 in the RPI too.
They can hit, man.
Let's get a Springfield regional out there.
Oh. They rake, man. They rake. And Oklahoma State is not a slouch team by any means. To throttle them 16-1, 16-2, whatever the final was, it like that is an ass beating.
Yeah.
So Missouri State really high in them.
Missouri State's problem is they're no longer in the Missouri Valley Conference.
MVC the super.
MVC automatic super regional qualifier. I have been looking at potential Missouri Valley teams to get to a super regional this year.
Missouri State has 7 guys with a 900 or better OPS in the starting lineup.
Sounds like Georgia Tech.
Oh
Yep.
my god!
And when you have that kind of lineup in a mid-major conference, you are going to destroy team.
You want to know who one of? So they have 4 guys not batting 300 or better that regularly play. You want to know who one of those names are?
Kagan Bogenpool.
Sounds like Georgia Tech.
Caden Bogen. Their
Well,
most
he gets
talented hitter.
walked every at bat. How many walks does he have this year?
Bogey has 32 walks.
Yeah, they don't pitch to him.
Already?
Yeah, he's got 29 walks and 3 HBPs. It's double anybody else on the roster. His on-base percentage,
insane.
to be fair, his on-base percentage is .487.
They've got Dallas Baptist on the road this weekend. Well, that'll be a good.
What a series.
You want to know why I hate rankings? I'm on Warren Nolan, like coaches poll and the National College Baseball Writers Association polls. And Missouri State is not receiving votes.
In which one?
Well, okay, so they're 45th, 9th, 51. They're 53rd in the National College Baseball Writers poll, and they're not in the top 42 for the coaches poll.
That's
Meanwhile,
incorrect.
Cal Poly, Texas Tech, Mercer, Cal Baptist, Jacksonville State, Arkansas State, like they're all getting coaches poll votes, but Missouri State's not.
Yeah, Missouri State, 10th strength of schedule, 8th non-conference strength of schedule. They have a series win at the Teague. They went to Ole Miss.
They're at Dallas Baptist this weekend.
Win this series
Yep.
against DBU, they should be ranked.
They should be ranked in the top 25.
Speaking of Memphis,
Well, they get Arkansas State right after that.
Yeah. Speaking of
At
Memphis,
home in
they
Springfield.
outscored those Tigers.
Hey,
No,
they get the
30
Hogs at home.
Yeah, Hogs that Tuesday midweek. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a team
Wow.
I'm keeping my eye out on.
Wow, they get. Oh, they're at Missouri. Then Missouri comes to them. Never mind. And then they go to Arkansas. All right, cool. What else do you have on the list, Ben?
That's all I have for the midweek. I'm sure we're missing some stuff, but I mean, we talked about 11 games, so we can move on to the weekend. I would love to preview the Oregon State Mercer weekend series for the next 30 minutes until you have to go, Dimitri. You good with that?
Go ahead and start. I'm sure I'll cut you off at some point, but go ahead.
No, I actually want to ask Noah this. Weekend series pick'em style, but Mercer wins 1 game in Corvallis this weekend. Do the Bears get swept, or do they win 1 game?
I'm probably thinking too long on this, but I think if they get one, they have to get one early, right?
No.
I would take Oregon State's depth on the mound more than Mercer.
See, I'm thinking the
You gotta
opposite.
win on Sunday.
You got to win on Sunday. You're not beating Dax Whitney. You're not beating Ethan Kleinschmidt. Like the Mercer players have never seen that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I don't think they've ever seen it. And I know this has nothing to do with this, but as a hitter, a college hitter, there are guys that you face that you're just not ready for. No matter what scouting report you have, no matter what video you have, you step in the box and it sounds different. Like coming out of the hand, it sounds different, and you're blinded. They hide the ball better. There's no amount of work Mercer can do to prepare for Dax Whitney. So I think you punt that game.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dax Whitney, Noah, what are we setting the strikeout line as? Over under 16.5.
I was going to say like 11.5.
I'm going to say he strikes out 12 guys.
Yeah.
It'll be 4 innings, 12 strikeouts. Right, Oregon State's going to have a 10-0 lead, and they're going to just pull him from the game.
No. He's got to go 5.
Hey, I will say, like, Johnny Holstaff versus Johnny Holstaff went over to our friends College Baseball Insiders website.com. Just played with the matchup. Spit out Mercer plus 174. Like, we got a chance, boys.
I think
On
Mercer
Friday
should
night?
save their.
Oh, wait.
Johnny Holstaffer's Johnny Holstaff. No starting pitcher indicated.
I need to explain this for everybody, like all the listeners that probably don't care about Mercer and like maybe don't even know that Dimitri and I are Mercer baseball grads. But this is Mercer's best start in school history. They're 21-4. They're flying to Oregon State for a weekend series, which is something like neither Dimitri or myself could fathom because we didn't travel when we were there. And Mercer hasn't lost on a Friday or Saturday all year. Like Friday, Saturdays, they've been dominating teams. I still think Mercer puts all their chips on Sunday. Like, don't throw your top 4 guys, like your typical Friday guy, your typical Saturday guy, and your top 2 bullpen arms. You do not pitch them Friday or Saturday. You punt those games, and if you can leave Corvallis, Oregon, Sunday with a win on Sunday and losing the series 2 out of 3, you are the happiest you could ever be. Call me soft, but call me
I'm
smart.
going to share this. I'm going to share what I'm looking at right now so you can stop talking about them. Best start my ass. Do you see that number right here?
264 non-conference strength of schedule. But look at the RPI, 81 RPI.
That is 21-4 with an 81 RPI is pathetic.
What do you want me to do about it?
Stop talking about how Mercer has a chance.
Hey,
I did not
say
say that. I said they have no chance Friday or Saturday.
After a set against Oregon State, the RPI is only going to go up even if you lose all 3. The strength of schedule is only going to go up too.
And just
oh my God, it's
riddle
going to go to 230 instead of 260.
If they sweep, Mercer host is back on.
They ain't sweeping, man.
Dude, I would take Oregon State minus 500 to sweep.
No.
You're probably getting great odds there. It's probably more like minus 1,000 to sweep.
Minus 500 to
now
sweep.
I know Ben's game. Ben's just doing this to do it. And
he's baiting me right now. So he's baiting me to saying ridiculous things so that he can have fodder on Sunday night and make fun of me. He's baiting me into this. But I looked at flights the other day. I was just like, let me see how much they are to go to Corvallis on Saturday morning, come back Saturday night. Like $500. I'm like, I'm really close to kind of wanting to do it, but I was like, nah.
What was it to Portland?
I just want to see Oregon State. I want to see Goff Stadium. I love that place.
Did you look up to Portland instead of Corvallis?
You would fly to Eugene, rent a car, and go like 40 minutes to Corvallis.
Gotcha.
Wait, are they that close?
Yes. They're
like Eugene and Corvallis are really close.
For some reason, I always thought they were pretty far apart.
No, it's like 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
It's like Michigan State. Literally like an hour.
Nice.
I didn't know that. I thought East Lansing was far.
No, it's like probably 70 minutes.
Look at us doing geography.
Hey, before we do our weekend series pick 'em, there's plenty of really good series I think we should at least mention before we get into them that are not on the thing. I have the full list right here in front of me.
When we do the weekend series pick 'em, we always try to find teams that like we haven't done repeatedly throughout the first 6 or 7 weeks. We want new blood in the air. We want our followers to pick new series and that stuff. But you're right, there are a ton of good weekend series that are not on our weekend series pick 'em.
Missouri State at Dallas Baptist, North Carolina State at Georgia Tech, and Auburn at Alabama are 3 series that we did not pick to put on our thing. I think there's a couple more that I'm forgetting, but those are the ones that I wrote down that did not make the final cut.
Did you say Auburn, Alabama?
Auburn at Alabama.
What's the Thursday night SEC series this week?
That's Thursday. No.
Oh, I was going to say that was...
Is it Texas, Oklahoma?
Oklahoma, Texas, the one that we left out because it's on Thursday.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Auburn, Alabama, I didn't put it on there because I thought everyone's going to slam the house on Auburn.
Yeah, but they're on the road.
I know. It was like, I thought Tennessee Vanderbilt was a more even matchup than Auburn, Alabama. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I want to make a prediction here. Auburn at Alabama. That's the type of series that can not jumpstart, but just electrify a fan base. Alabama is not known for having like the biggest or nicest facilities or they're the biggest crowds at their home weekends. Like they have a great fan base, respectable. If Alabama goes out there and sweeps Auburn or at least wins Friday, Saturday against Auburn, you're going to see an Alabama baseball fan base just absolutely rejuvenated, and they're going to show up the rest of the year. Like this is their stage to perform in front of a huge crowd at home. So
Yeah,
just watch for that.
I think a lot of fans, like for example, Alabama, they keep up with their baseball team, but they're not really passionate enough to show up to all the games.
Mm-hmm.
You got a guy that just threw a no-hitter on Friday night against Florida. You just swept Florida. You got a first-round shortstop, top 5, top 10 pick, whatever it is. If you beat your rival's ass at home, I think there's going to be a lot of momentum for Rob Vaughn.
It's a program-changing weekend, potentially.
And if they lose, Alabama fans will be like, yeah, we knew we were going to lose. We're just not good enough yet.
Maybe not that far, but they will probably not drive hours to come see them play every weekend.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're just used to just being good, but not good enough to be at the top of the SEC or whatever. So, yeah, this is a big weekend. Good point.
Yep.
Sauce in Oklahoma, Texas.
It's at Texas, correct?
At Oklahoma, at Texas.
Oklahoma just had that huge series win at LSU. I don't care that LSU's scuffling going into the box and winning.
They're both coming off big road series wins.
True. Yeah, they are.
I don't know.
What do we think? What do we think? Can
Texas
fix their bullpen issues this weekend? Can Oklahoma?
It's the same thing with like my brain will not get off the fact of like if Oklahoma wants to win the series, they have to win Friday, Saturday. You're not winning Sunday against Volantis.
It's hilarious that he's a Sunday.
And you're not gonna probably win Friday against Riojas. Maybe or Thursday, I guess. But
I mean Mercurius is really good. I think he'll be on Friday since the series starts on Thursday.
True.
Yeah, do we have probable starters? I imagine both teams are bumping the Friday guy to Thursday.
Come out tomorrow, Thursday at 4.
No, but they play tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be out right
now. We all know Texas will be Riojas and then Harrison and then Volantis. Oklahoma will probably be, depending on if they're going to go 1 day short rest with but Mercurius will be Friday, and I'm not sure. I don't remember the other name.
Cam Johnson, is he still pitching on the weekends?
He's had 2 rough starts in a row, but I assume he would still go.
So Noah, who's on Friday for Oklahoma again?
So Texas did not have a game notes out yet. Oklahoma, on the other hand, they don't have game notes, but they have a like a write-up. I'm kind of skimming it right now.
Let me check that. Let me check something. Mercurius kind of struggled a little bit against LSU. He didn't have his best.
Was LSU Oklahoma a Thursday through Saturday series last week?
Yeah.
It was. So then I think it's going to be the same weekend rotation. Cam Johnson Thursday, LJ Mercurius on Friday, and then Cord Rager on Saturday.
Yeah. That's got to be it. Yeah, I think this is a big pretender. I don't want to say pretender, but national championship, SEC regular season title contender for Oklahoma if they win this series. Texas, if you come off this weekend 2 out of 3, bullpen looks better, you're happy. I think that's kind of the 2 biggest key points. Texas lineup doing fine in my opinion. They just need that bullpen to get figured out. And that's a national championship contender.
I agree.
Yep. All right, you want to do the weekend series pick'em before you have to get out of here?
Yeah. How much time do you have, Dimitri? How fast do we need to
I've
go?
got 17 minutes.
All right. Well, let's begin. West Virginia at Arizona State. I've been really high on this West Virginia squad. Haven't really been turned off by anything that's happened with them so far this season. They're 17-4, 5-1 in the Big 12. However, I do think it is tougher to win baseball games on the road, especially in conference, and especially when you're traveling all the way across country. It's the farthest trip, I think, in the entire Big 12 from Morgantown to Tempe. Give me Arizona State. I just think that the lineup is elite. The pitching's good enough to take 2 of 3 at home against a top tier opponent in the league. So I got the Sun Devils here.
Dimitri, you go next because I have to look one thing up here real fast.
Give me Arizona State at home. I think Cole Carling gets off to a great start. Their lineup is lethal. If you watched any of their series at Kansas State and Manhattan last weekend, you would know this lineup can flip a switch at any moment. Yeah, give me Arizona State at home. 100%.
So I'm tempted to go.
Ben, I'll give you more time. Jack, I have Jack's picks.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead.
Jack is going with West Virginia here. Road dog.
I can't pull it up in time. That's fine. I'm going to go West Virginia too, for the pure fact of I need to make up ground in the standings. Like I'm right around 500.
What were you going to look up?
I was going to look up and see what West Virginia's road record was this year.
I mean, I can tell you right here.
It's finally loading for me. 10-3 on the road, and that's a sweep over Georgia Southern, at Liberty, at Kennesaw, and then 1-2 out of 3 at Baylor. It's not the toughest road schedule. Man, this is going to be such a challenge for them, but yeah, I'm going to stick with West Virginia. Like, might as well.
All right.
All right. Mississippi State, Ole Miss played in Swayze, which I believe you guys looked up was the second largest baseball stadium in college baseball last episode. How about that? Can Ole Miss land on the highest attendance total in a regular season top 25 list this series?
How
Friday,
hilarious
Saturday?
would that be? How funny would that be? Nice. Enjoy your week of holding the top 25, but we're back in it.
Yeah, I think Ole Miss only gave them feeder or whatever you want to fuel to that fire. Because
if I was Ole Miss, I would just lie. What's stopping them from lying about their attendance?
Oh, God.
And just say like 4,706.
All of those Mississippi State attendance records are truth, straight fact, honesty. They don't bend any of the attendance rules, Ben. They check every single person that walks through there.
Yes, it's sarcasm. But honestly, what's stopping Ole Miss from saying we had 14,607? You just have to make it somewhat believable.
13,782.
Yep.
Coming at 23 out of 25. But yeah, I think this is a bigger statement series for Ole Miss to be made here. I think that Mississippi State, we've been calling them good, national championship good. I've removed I have to see it from the team because they've just been playing really good baseball. I do have some uncertainty around the health of the starting rotation for the Bulldogs right now. Give me Ole Miss. They can still really swing it. And the starting rotation, I think, has had some bumps. It hasn't been a smooth road so far. But I think everything may click for one weekend against their biggest rival in the sport, Ole Miss.
Yeah, no, I think I've said it over and over. I think Mississippi State is a great team, not just a good team. It wouldn't shock me to see Ole Miss win this series, but I'm going with the Bulldogs. And especially since Mississippi State's already had their big road test of the year. They went to Arkansas to open up SEC play. And they lost that series, but as Noah said earlier, it's tough to make your first SEC road trip and come out successful. So I think they're going to come out more prepared. Give me Mississippi State. I think they're swinging hot bats right now. They've put up 10+ runs, I feel like, every game recently. So I'll take Mississippi State.
So Jack picked Mississippi State as well. As for myself, if I thought Mississippi State was good enough to beat Arkansas on the road because I picked them to win on the road at Arkansas, there's no reason for me to change that pick here at Ole Miss. So give me Mississippi State at Swayze.
All right, we head to San Antonio, which features, I think, preseason number 1 and number 2 almost unified across the landscape from anybody that ever does preseason American Conference rankings. These two are both preseason top 10 and mid-major top 25 or power rankings for us. We had UTSA just one spot above these Pirates. Two teams very hard to separate. Both of them not really playing their best ball as of late. East Carolina dropping the Sunday game, losing the midweek on a walk-off. UTSA has been kind of scuffling big time here. They've lost 5 of the last 9. Both coaches, you ask them and they're like, yeah, doubt us. We want to be doubted. Like, we don't want any expectations coming into this series. I think the biggest strength between both teams is that road runner offense. And that's what I'm going to go with. And in this series at home, should have a good crowd for it. I think it's their first. Let me double check this before these words come out of my mouth. They did play a home series against Arlington, but they have not played many home games in the month. I'm going to go runners. I'm going to go runners with that offense up against East Carolina. But really tough series for me to pick. One of the hardest ones for me on the board.
Yeah, this one's truly a coin flip. The thing I don't love about East Carolina on the road is I feel like maybe the numbers are off, but have they even won a road game this year? I know they lost to Campbell on the road, maybe the first or second midweek. They tied the road game against North Carolina. Okay, Dimitri has it pulled up. How many true road games have they played?
One
a midweek at UNCW. They lost 2 out of 3 to Coastal on the road. They won William and Mary midweek. And then they lost Duke. Yeah, I'm going to take UTSA here at home. East Carolina is not a great road team.
They're pitching really well. They're pitching extremely well. I mean, they've done, statistically speaking, they're doing really well. They don't strike out much. They're second in the country in least in the strikeout percentage offensively. That's dangerous. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with. This is tough. Let me do this. Jack went with UTSA. Damn, three already picked UTSA. If I pick them, we're sweeping the board here.
Do it. East Carolina fans will love you for that.
Let's pull up UTSA and see what we got on them. Six and 5 on the road, 9 and 2 at home. Offense is electric. Pitching is struggling.
They're not healthy on the mound.
This is going to be tough. Yeah, this is a tough little stretch right here. You know what? They're not losing back-to-back series at home. That's not happening. Give me the Roadrunners.
Sweeping the board. Everybody's UTSA on the Roadrunners.
Sweep. Yeah,
congratulations, East Carolina, for your weekend series win.
They are winning that series.
Yep.
Don't feel great about that at all. How about salute to service series with the Navy on the road against Army. Navy has not been the start of the season that I expected, predicted, kind of counted on. With these boys, they've not played superb. They're 2-4 in Patriot League so far. Army 4-2 in league play, and they scheduled better in the non-conference for sure too. South Carolina donated the Black Knights a win as well, so they have shown the ability to play up to competition. I'm a stubborn fella though. I'm going midshipman, boys. All these seniors, upperclassmen on this team, they've been taking L's to Army left and right throughout their career. Navy's year. Let's go.
Dimitri, what's rule number 11 of 11.7?
Hashtag beat Army.
Never fade Army in the Patriot.
Yep, and that's my pick. Give me the Black Knights.
Give me Army Black Knight. Jack went with the Navy. We have a 2-2 tie. I love it. America's series of the weekend. Go Army, beat Navy.
The final series of the year is at Navy, for those that are wondering. Army at Navy. The first weekend of May. Miami, Ohio, Kent State, guys. This one was, if I had a survivor pick, I'd pick Kent State. Miami, Ohio's got some star power, no doubt. I think the better team is Kent State. And, both of these teams have played very well out the gates. But I feel pretty confident in the Golden Flashes at home here against the Red Hawks.
Yep, not going to overthink it. I don't even know why did this series make it over Mercer at Oregon State?
Two best teams in the MAC.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Yeah, Kent State all day at home, quietly still just putting together an awesome season. I was doing some simulations. Like Kent State could, if they run through the MAC, be a 2 seed in a regional, which I'm sure there's a lot of 1 seeds that would love that on paper. But yeah, like the path is still there. Give me Kent State.
Let's see what Kent State's looking like so far.
People forget they've been to Omaha more recently than Georgia and Missouri and Alabama, Rice. There's some good programs that haven't.
Non-conference 77, 161 strength of schedule, pitching really well, fielding decent, hitting. 30% strikeout is bad. They punch out a lot on offense.
Look at that
series win on the road at Southeastern Louisiana. Series win on the road at Tennessee. Swept Rhode Island. 2 out of 3 against Bowling Green. Swept Central Michigan. Swept UMass. That is a massive, massive series win at home against UMass. And then they've got Miami, Ohio this weekend. Yeah, give me Kent State. Give me Kent.
UMass and their D3 coach.
Jack went with. You guys want to guess what he went with?
Miami, Ohio.
Well, I saw his text. He went like 5 Road Dogs.
He went Miami, Ohio.
Ooh. There we go. Low percentage play. That's a good way to come back or build yourself a bigger hole.
All right, last one.
Yeah, last one. So is this on here for the memes with Vandy moving the fences in to more replicate Lindsey Nelson Stadium, fellas? We have the I don't even remember what this series is called.
Hey,
Tennessee on the road at Vandy.
Quick.
Go ahead.
Real quick. Do you think Tennessee Vandy is more even or Auburn, Alabama? In Tuscaloosa or in Nashville?
I think Tennessee Vandy is more even. I think that Auburn on the road at Bama is tricky.
Yeah. I think Tennessee and Vanderbilt are both just very streaky teams. When things are clicking, they look great. When they're not clicking, they look bad.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm going to go Tennessee. I missed last week pretty much like paying attention nitty-gritty stuff. Did Vanderbilt start everybody on the mound? Because I know it was Nye and somebody dealing with some injury stuff. And I'm not too keen on going into that well. I'll go Tennessee here. But I hold the right to switch this pick, I think. But Tennessee for now on the show.
I'm taking Vanderbilt just for the pure fact of how sad it would be for Vanderbilt to be under 500 7 weeks into the season. They got to figure it out at some point. Vanderbilt wins 2 out of 3.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. Last year, Vanderbilt went into Knoxville, took 2 out of 3, and there was a bench clearing brawl after game 3 last year. Right?
Was that last year or 2 years ago?
I think it was last year.
Man,
There-
it
No,
feels so long ago.
McIlvain shut the door and went ballistic at the dugout, and there was a benches clearing scuffle.
Dang, that was last year.
So it was last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was it was Vitello's last home series. Regular season home series. That's what it was. I remember now. It was
But we didn't know
Vitello's
that at the time.
Yeah, we did not.
What?
Yeah, I just went and looked it up. Vandy's still dealing with a bunch of pitching chaos on Saturday and Sunday. I'm going Tennessee here.
All right. Ben went with Vandy. Noah went with Tennessee. Jack went with, obviously, he went with Tennessee. Guys, this is a really difficult series for me to pick. Either team, I would not be surprised in the slightest bit. I really, SEC series, I really want to go with the home team here. I'm leaning Tennessee, but I want to go with the home team here. Give me Vandy at home.
Love it. Cool. All right, dude. I know you need to go run for softball. I was just watching a funny video of College of Charleston's head coach Chad Holbrook, friend of the program, got tossed tonight and got his money's worth on the ejection. Hilarious.
Did you tweet it?
No, I didn't. I mean, we're doing the show. I didn't tweet it, but I just saw it, sent it to you. But yeah, it was pretty funny. We need more of that. Need more coaches' ejections. They're not happening as much anymore. But yeah, we appreciate everybody for listening
I don't
here.
know, man. Just tune into a Angel Compost game and you get one every other weekend.
He's soft, but anyways, we appreciate everybody for listening. We will be back Sunday night to recap the weekend, release the new mid-major top 25, preview the midweek there. But yeah, now that all but 16 basketball teams are eliminated, and nobody cares about March MLB. It's crazy. The MLB season started a week too early. In my opinion.
Opening day was in February, boys.
Yeah, that's true for the World Baseball Classic. But yeah, we appreciate all the support. If you guys ever need anything, slide in our DMs. We are more than happy to help you out. You guys got anything else to close the show?
Nope, that's it. I need to go smash some softball dingers.
Love it. All right, dude. See you guys.